And we're live. What's up, guys? It's Gaming Addict. You're watching the Addict Show, the show where we talk about what's going on in the gaming industry. Today, I got two guests with me. I got Kid Smoove.
What's up, everybody? It's the best bot.
Are you?
You can hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, it's just a quiet. Like, okay.
No, I said, what's up, everybody? It's the best bot.
Oh, and I got Anchorman with me, or Anchorman V2.
Hey, everybody. I'm here for the show from the Inner Circle Network, and let's get started.
All right, so I got some topics. Today we're going to talk about the big thing that comes out this year, E3. In particular, we're going to talk about Xbox and Microsoft's conference that they're going to be introducing. So the first topic I want to get to something everyone really speculates when it comes to E3, and that's, what do you guys think Microsoft's going to open up with? First thing that's going to pop on the stage.
Oh, stupid little montage of all the games and stuff they released so far. And they said all last year and said, let's get started. And they introduced Phil Spencer. Here we go.
I clearly didn't mean it like that, Anchorman. I mean, do you think they're going to start it with what particular item? The Scorpio? I clearly, you're being a smart ass in the podcast already. So, that's why we
asked me not to. I had to do it now.
So, what do you think, kid?
I think they're going to open it like they opened it last year, but this time instead of revealing the Xbox One S, the first thing we're going to see is what the Xbox Scorpio looks like with its name and whatnot, and it's all its glory, the little design. It's going to be like a maybe 35-second trailer showing off the console and the features and its official name, the Xbox One X. And yeah, I think that's how and then Phil Spencer shows up on stage with that grin and that smile in his classic Rare Game t-shirt.
Do you think it's going to be a Rare t-shirt?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a Rare-based game t-shirt.
You say, I mean, it could be. Who knows? What's up? Who's next? 012. I'm pretty sure that's one of your people, Anchorman.
What was it? Sorry.
Who's next? They're in the comment section.
Oh,
yeah. I haven't seen them in the show before, so I think they're going to start. With Scorpio. I think that would be the best possible scenario. Get Scorpio out of the way, and you can crash game after game. But who knows? Like, they could start with anything, but generally when a new hardware is announced, they kind of usually start with the hardware. Do you think they'll do the entire hardware in its entity with the prices and everything, or you think they're just going to go out there and maybe give the name but not the price to the end?
I think you're right. I think the price is going to be at the end. I think the way they're going to start through the whole show is it's going to start with Scorpio and they say, okay, you guys waited. We're here 1 year later. Here we go. It's like, we're going to show you. Here's what it looks like. Here's all the stuff. Here's how it runs. And maybe do this for maybe 10 minutes maybe, and then be like, everything you see is running on Scorpio, and then just do game after game after game after game. Then break for a couple little bits and pieces. They go back to a couple games, and at the very end of the show, they say $3.99.
Oh, you're really going with that $3.99, aren't you? He wants that $3.99 so bad. That'd be an early Christmas present. What would happen if it was $4.99, Anchorman? Would you be emotionally hurt?
Oh, not really. If it's $4.99, it's like, yeah, it's gonna be more expensive, which means I'm probably not gonna get it anytime soon. But I mean, just be like, that's life, though.
Yeah. So I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. What they're gonna open with some kind of Scorpio input, something with the Scorpio, but that's either here or there. I think they might show the price at the beginning, but that's if it's $3.99. They might show it at the end. If it's $4.99, it'll probably come at the beginning. So I guess we'll go ahead and move on. It's like this next one, with Sony having all the big marketing deals this year, from Red Dead 2 to Destiny, as well as Call of Duty. What games do you think Microsoft can get that's left over that can help push their units this holiday?
Ooh, well, Ubisoft just announced a few games. So I say Far Cry could be one of them. Bethesda have a few unannounced games. I'm pretty sure there's going to be a Bethesda game that they're going to get marketing rights for, and trying to think. EA they automatically probably got like a 10-year contract with Madden or something like that. So we already know
they
that.
got a lifetime contract.
Yeah.
I don't think it's ever been anywhere else.
Yeah.
What do you think, Anchorman?
Yeah, I mean, those are kind of the safe ones. I mean, EA normally plays the field. They do like half and half. So probably like the next Need for Speed or from EA will probably be a Microsoft thing, or maybe another game we don't know about coming out this year. Having another Microsoft one because Sony's already got Battlefront. So I mean, it's kind of like okay, but that's kind of it, at least from EA. I mean, Ubisoft's a pretty big one. I mean, I've said this before, and I still kind of believe this to be true. I think it's just more my amateur opinion. I think when it comes to like the marketing rights, as a console manufacturer, you want as many marketing rights as possible. That's great, and especially the cheaper you can get them, the better, because it takes out of your budget. But at the same time, as a publisher, when you have you're sharing marketing right times with all these other people, like it may not be as beneficial for your particular console, or I mean not your console, your particular game, because you're sharing ad time, and Sony's coordinating it, and they're putting all this stuff out there. It's a little frustrating because I think Ubisoft, you're going to see like maybe 2 games have a Microsoft spin on it. Like you might everyone's been talking about like having Assassin's Creed, or maybe even like the rumors of a Splinter Cell coming out, and like that probably will be an Xbox thing. They've had a really long relationship with that, so I mean it's possible.
Yeah, definitely. Is that all you really have to say, kid? Is that what you think?
As far as the games,
marketing deals. I mean, to be completely fair, there's not a whole lot of big marketing games that are left. Sony kind of snatched all those. I don't really think that, when it comes to marketing deals, I don't think there's anything bigger than Red Dead right now. Or maybe, if Red Dead comes out this year, do you think it's going to be really hard for Microsoft to combat that marketing deal? Or do you think Red Dead is still at that hardcore base where it's not a casual game because it's not as big as his name as something like GTA?
Wow. I think, well, first they need to verify if Red Dead's not delayed. If Red Dead delayed, then it doesn't really matter. But
I agree.
If Red Dead is coming this year, and so, dude, is it really confirmed that Sony has a marketing deal?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's been confirmed, hasn't it, Anchor?
I mean, we know that they got it with GTA. We know that much. Now, and we kind of heard about this thing, that there was a relationship, but we haven't really seen it in anything manifest just yet. Now, I know with Red Dead, there was this big thing, like Sony came out and they like, yeah, look, Red Dead, we got it. But I don't know if that's like a confirmed thing per se, because we've only seen it one time. So I don't know.
Yeah, I'd agree with you on that one. Kid Smoove Christopher Grant says, did you get into the Sony press conference?
Not yet. I did not get into the Sony conference just yet, and I won't be upset if I don't, because I already got into the best conference that's going to take place that day. I don't mind watching Sony's
You heard
conference.
it first here. All right, so we're going to go ahead and move on from the marketing things because, when it comes to the marketing deals, it's like I said, for the most part, the majority of these titles have already been set in stone. There's a couple of speculations that we don't know, but the next one is there's a lot of rumors about Fable coming this year at E3, and it's coming out of nowhere, kind of. Do you think that that's a huge move for Microsoft? And if so, who do you think's making this?
I say, who's making it?
Yeah. Do you think that that these rumors are true? And if so, who do you think's making it?
I give it to Bethesda.
Oh, Fable?
Yeah.
Would Anchorman play? Anchorman play anything Bethesda? I'm sure he'll play a Fable game for sure.
I mean, the Fable thing's interesting because it's one of those things where Microsoft, you're either going to have to get a good studio in on it, and like in a perfect world, Microsoft builds up the studio. It starts all over again. And like say, or maybe not build another, but like find a studio that's not doing anything and basically give them the franchise to work on. And say, hey, you guys, this may not be the best studio to use as an example, but get like an IO Entertainment where it's like, hey, we know you guys are down on your luck. You guys just got dropped off by Square. Hey,
Trying
we're
to
gonna
get
give you
some
opportunities.
talented
Hey,
developers.
like give a good guys who are like a relatively smaller studio. Say, hey, get to work. And they're like a Danish studio, so I guess you can get that humor you've been looking for, room. But it could work. Like yeah, getting Bethesda is always a safe bet. I mean, at this point, the Bethesda name just prints money. It's ridiculous. Um, the only excuse if it's not a Bethesda created game, but I don't know. It could work. I mean, in this, there it works with that whole rumor about well, not really rumor, really like fact at this point, where Bethesda stated they want to work on 2 games before Elder Scrolls 6. It could fit, maybe. I don't know. Like I'm kind of sitting at 25-75% chance on that now, but I don't know. It kind of fluctuates.
Timothy, Jansen says Prey is trash. Anchorman might come through this floor and kill you, Jansen, over some blasphemy like that. But for me, for once, you guys know I'm a huge Fable fan. I'd love for the Fable franchise to come back. I feel like Bethesda making it would be the best case scenario you could possibly get because it don't really matter that it's Fable or it's an exclusive. People will go out and support Bethesda because it's Bethesda. But that's besides me. Do you think Bethesda making it would result into more sales?
Oh, I have more people that are interested in it than ever before.
Yeah, I do agree. I think Bethesda would fix a lot of the issues that the franchise has had up to this point. Or they could just mess it up. It could go either way. What do you think, kid? Well, I guess he's gone.
Repeat the question.
I said, do you think Bethesda making a Fable game would result into more sales in the overall scenario?
That's a good question. That is a good question. I don't know if just because it's Bethesda, it means it'll be a better. It'll sell better because they still have to. I mean, that's all up to marketing. I mean, if they're going to just keep saying Bethesda, from the makers of Skyrim, from the makers of this and stuff like that.
Yo, those are some big names they could say, though. I mean, it worked for Recore. The people who made Metroid. And what else did they make?
But did it really work for Recore? I
mean, you get what I'm saying. It brought up hype for the franchise.
It did. It gave it a little attention. But Fable, it still have some brand recognition. So the Fable name itself should help. And then, of course, with the Bethesda backing, if this is something that was to happen, I'm sure it would. I'm sure it would make a lot of noise. Do I see anybody else doing it? I see studios like CD Projekt Red being an option. I see who else does like RPGs very well for Xbox, or like a good.
You realize that Xbox don't get a whole lot of RPGs, right?
They don't. But this is what, a Western RPG. I mean, what other Western RPG that's out right now? That's like,
you got The Witcher, you got Fallout. Pretty much the companies that we're talking about right now. They're the only ones that's making successful RPGs.
Yep. So I mean, that's pretty much how I would what I could see. I don't really envision anybody else doing it. Like unless I don't see that Studio Mogo thing that they just partnered with doing it. I don't see any of that happening.
Oh, me neither.
Yeah, I didn't have that in the topics, but we could talk about that briefly real quick. Do you think that what game would you think they would make? I kind of agree with Anchorman that they're making a Fusion Frenzy. Like regardless, Cal, he definitely does not agree with this statement.
Oh, you think they're making a Fusion Frenzy?
Frenzy. I think that is a good open IP that they can start on for Microsoft. that wouldn't be a whole lot of risk for the company, and see what kind of talent they have.
I hope the Fusion Frenzy's not needed though. That's the
Doesn't matter
thing.
if it's not needed, damn it. Phantom Dust wasn't needed.
Yeah, he's got a
Voodoo
point
Vince
there.
wasn't needed.
He's got a point there. So, we're going to go ahead and move on from there. So, Sea of Thieves. We all know that, it's been at E3 for a couple years. We know that there's been a lot, not really a lot of talk on this game because it's been an alpha, and they got MPAs out the ass to stop people from really sharing their experiences from this game. So, since it's still I think it's still in closed alpha, or is it in beta yet?
It's still the alpha stage.
Do you think this will be at the show, or do you think they'll move it to maybe Gamescom?
It's going to be at the show regardless. It's going to be at E3.
What do you think, Anchorman? I think it might just get pushed back to Gamescom. It might be on the floor, but I don't know if it'll be in the show
Microsoft
itself.
is going to be at Gamescom this year, though.
I think they
weren't
already
there
said
last
they were.
year.
I think they said that. They weren't there last year, but I think they are this year.
Okay.
Yeah, because they actually came out and said that Halo isn't going to be showed at Gamescom either, and I feel like they would have just said we're not going to Gamescom. They wouldn't have said
Oh, that's true.
a subtraction of a game that wouldn't be there if they're not going to be there. What do you think, Anchor? Do you think it's going to be there? Or?
For Halo 5 or Halo 6?
No. I'm not talking about Halo. I'm talking about Sea of Thieves.
Oh, Sea of Thieves?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it really depends on when it comes out. I think that's the real one.
I think it's getting pushed back to Gamescom. I think that's when they're really going to show this game off, is at Gamescom. They'll probably, if they do anything, they might do a release date, but I don't. So, we'll have to see. That this is clearly, when it comes to Sea of Thieves, I feel like this game is starting to get into that time frame of being delayed that it's really hurting the IP itself.
See, here's the thing about Sea of Thieves. I feel like it's to the point because it didn't come out earlier this year, or if I don't think it's coming out this summer, it can't come out this year.
Yeah, I agree.
Unless they change the model, it's like, all right, this is a free-to-play model, and then they can like stealth launch it. You know what I mean?
I don't think it needs to come out at all this year. Even if it's a free-to-play, it's still going to get overshadowed by third-party titles. When Sea of Thieves drops, you want that being one of the only things out right now, so it gets as much attention as possible.
Yeah, that's true.
So we're gonna go ahead and move on to something that's definitely not. I put a poll up on Twitter, and it's talking about VR. So VR is loved or hated by the gaming community. But it's a market that seems to be getting a lot of companies interested in it, as of Microsoft. And they have shown interest in this. Do you think it might be there? And if so, do you want it to be there?
I don't want VR to be at Microsoft's E3. I really don't think it's necessary, unless they have like something ready to. Unless they got like a ton of support ready for it, and that is if it's coming like this year. The only thing about VR that should really show up at Microsoft, because they did kind of set it up for it to be, with Scorpio being able to support high fidelity VR. So they have to somehow show how VR works with Scorpio. And I think what they're going to do is they're going to show you not only does their Windows VR works, but Oculus, Hive, and the other ones that are coming out will work just via plugging it into the Scorpio itself. That's it. And I think that I don't know how they're going to do that, but they got to be able to demonstrate it in the shortest amount of time possible without giving it a decent amount of time where they feel like they're going to lose the crowd. So, but I feel like VR is going to be there, but I don't want it to be there, but it has to be there because they have to sell one of that feature of Scorpio, because Scorpio would be the only Xbox console to support VR.
If it is there, how long would you want it to be spent on? Like a couple minutes? Like
I'd imagine anywhere from 7 to 10 minutes.
I feel like you can't really validate and demonstrate. You can't demonstrate VR regardless if you just see someone playing. It's something that you really have to get your hands on. And I feel like it'd be kind of useless to show that off at a stage or a conference, because you could tell people it looks like this all you want, bring up what it looks like inside, but you can't really know what it is, because it's more of an experience kind of press thing that they need. And that's why I feel like this shouldn't be there. I feel like that right now Microsoft is hurting the most on games. They need to go out there and show game after game. And, if they want to do VR, they need to talk about it very briefly during the Scorpio part, the 15 minutes I think they might spend at the beginning on Scorpio. I think they need to be like, say something like, and it is VR compatible. On stage, not on stage, but, on the show floor, we have stations where you can experience this experience. That's what I feel like they need to do. I feel like if they spend too long on VR and Scorpio, it might take up a significant amount of their show.
I mean, it depends. I mean, like I said, they have to. I mean, yeah, sure, you can show people on the show floor and whatnot, and then have everybody rely on really the press to get the rest of that information out. I feel like they don't need to severely demonstrate it, but they have to show up somewhere on like some sort of screen or with them telling you, hey, Scorpio will support, and they'll just list all the headset hardware, the VR hardware headsets, and next to the Scorpio picture, and say, oh, we'll work day and date with Scorpio, day one, no patch required or some shit like that. And then they'll unlock the store for VR ready games such as Fallout VR and some of this the stuff that will be available on the Windows Store.
Yeah, I would agree. What do you think, Anchor? Do you think that this is something that is a necessity? Or do you think it's something that deserves its own showing for like a tech demo?
I don't think a real tech demo really. I think they're going to say like, hey, we're supporting VR. Starting today, all VR headsets will be compatible. Look more for it going forward. Like,
I think that would be the best sscenario that they could do. I think that would be. But, we'll have to see how definitely we'll
you don't want to confuse the message for your hardware. Because that was the problem Sony went with last year. It was, you had the Pro and the VR. And, like, you really were competing with each other for what we were going to spend your money on. What, $400?
Yeah, that's true.
So, we're definitely at that point where I think VR is in the upcoming, but it's not at that point to where you could just start blowing 10 minutes of your show on it. Like, that's just my personal opinion, though. So I'm going to go ahead and, move on to the point of the show where we just do our general predictions. What you think is going to be on the show, what you think Microsoft has the potential to show, and what you think that drop the mic moment is. So we'll go ahead and do Kid first.
Oh, damn it. Hold on. I thought I lost my screen for a moment. All right, so let me bring up my list again. My infamous list. How many? What they're gonna do to that drop the? All right, I gotta put up. Not only do I have to bring up,
it could be features or games. It don't have to be just games.
I have to bring up my article from Weapon Wheel. Also, if you guys familiar with Weapon Wheel, go to weaponwheelnetwork.com and look at the article. I just wrote 10 announcements, 10 reveals that Xbox can do to win E3. 10 reveals from Xbox that could win E3 2017. That's what it was. All right, so I'm gonna post up. I gotta open up both these because since obviously with Halo and shit not being there, I have to kind of get creative. So something as far as features go, I don't know if we're gonna go back and forth or we're gonna go through the list or we're just gonna keep going in the conversation. But as far as features go, I feel like they can have a similar drop the mic moment, similar to 2015's backwards compatibility announcement by announcing original Xbox games with Xbox Game Pass and achievement support. If they, because I think Xbox Game Pass is going to officially launch for everybody, I believe probably next month, probably around E3. And I think, you know how they want to launch new games in there or like episodic games in there. And there's been rumblings of people wanting to play original Xbox games, but they know it's not that really important to get original Xbox games backwards compatible because you're not finding these games in the store anymore. The only way you can really do it is digitally. And why not, pull a PlayStation move, but an economic friendly move by putting it on Xbox Game Pass for a subscription-based model. So all those games going to be available to you for free for select titles, probably like exclusives only. but OG Xbox games in there and give them achievement support, that alone could steal the show.
What do you think, Anchorman? Do you think kids reach it here? Do you think it's pretty? It's possible.
Oh, I fell asleep when he was talking.
That's Anchorman for you, man.
But really, if it came to like stealing the show moments, I can't really point at any one particular thing that would be like, this is it. You won E3, like hands down. Beyond maybe like the price announcement for Scorpio, but even then, like
it's going to take more than a $399 Scorpio.
Yeah, $399 Scorpio is a pretty big one. But other than that, I think one big thing is Rare. Rare has to come out and say they're working on something else. Like not just they not only have to be working on Sea of Thieves, but be like, yeah, we worked on that and something else you guys have been actually wanting for a long time. And I think the only announcement they could do is Banjo 3. Yeah, I think that
Banjo 3. Do you think a Banjo would sell well in this market though?
I really kind of don't care. See, here's the thing. Microsoft, and like this is how Microsoft's wired as opposed to Sony. Microsoft is more focused on each game they put out needs to make money. It needs to at least make its weight back, or it's dead. Like that's how they've been interpreted for so long, and that they've really kind of kept with that method. Where Sony is more like, hey, we could put out 10 different games, 6 of them can fail, or the other 4 will make up for the failures that we made. Or Microsoft doesn't take that risk, and so really a game like that, it doesn't matter how well it sells, it just needs to be out.
Yeah, I agree with you. You know, a library and taking, you know, a little bit of a loss. I don't think a Banjo would cost a whole lot in a development cycle. I don't think it would cost a ridiculous amount. What do you guys think?
I don't think it's that big of a cost, really. I mean, we looked at Ukulele, and that came out, and it was just kind of okay. But like, how crazy would it be if Rare came out and like finally gave the game everybody's been asking for so long, and just be like, all right, guys, here it is, Banjo 3. You guys have been asking for so long, and you know it's not nuts and bolts. Forget about that. But still, here it is. What you guys have been asking for, and we're gonna learn how to bring platforming into the next gen.
Like, yeah, I feel like they did a decent job of Recore on like, you know, making platforming into this century, but I feel like even with Recore having really nice platforming abilities and, you know, really nice platforming, it still isn't enough just platforming. You know, I feel like when it comes to platforming, you need other things besides platforming. You know, a character-driven story, something else to lift up the platforming too.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't think. I think a Banjo itself is past its prime, and I don't think it's really a necessary move. I feel like they got other IPs that can do that would probably get more hype, excitement. They still got a Perfect Dark IP. They still got Battletoads. They still got a Conquer, and they still got real reboots that we would look forward to, such as like the new Phantom Dust or actual new Voodoo Vents. Since they've like, you know, kind of put out these releases of the OG Xbox versions of these games, I feel like those would be good options. So I feel like they have a lot of IPs that they can go to, and I don't think Banjo is really one of them or really necessary, because I feel like the last 2 Banjos was
yeah. I thought Banjo 2.
Hold up. You thought Banjo 2 was just kind of eh?
Yeah.
Get out of here.
I mean,
you are no longer the best bot.
Banjo 2 was on the Xbox, it was on the N64, so that wouldn't even be really him not being an Xbox, because it was technically on a competition's platform back then. But you know, I don't think there's necessarily anything they can do to necessarily win the show, like with just one mic drop. I think that we've gotten to the point where we kind of know what they're going to go off with this next, with we know what Sony semi has. God of War. It's kind of hard to combat a God of War with any game. So I feel like the only way to really do really good at E3 to its competition is just to drop enough little stuff and mid stuff to make it overall a bigger show. Like combination of the price, combination, a couple new IPs, combination of some good marketing deals. All of these together would make a better show than just dropping one mic drop right now. Because I feel like they've already did that mic drop already. It was backwards compatibility. I feel like that's the best mic drop they've had this whole generation.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to go ahead and, move on. So when it comes to State of Decay and Crackdown 3, arguably their biggest games this year before E3. We don't know what they're going to announce at E3. We don't know what's going to come out at the end of E3. How important are these games do you think it is in their lineup? And how important do you think it is? And how much time do you think they need to show of these games at E3?
Well, these games are, if they don't have anything else coming out this year, they better make these games the important because these have to be your flagships of 2017. State of Decay 2, Crackdown, they have to be your Gears and Halo. And obviously Forza's here, so they have to do that. They have to put the marketing and the hype around these games, and they have to have the longest time on this E3. It have to be longer than any of their third parties marketing deals. They have to be longer than any game that's coming out next year. I feel like Crackdown needs to show. They need to spend 5 minutes, I would say 5 to 7 minutes on some campaign stuff, and then possibly another 7 to 10 minutes on some multiplayer demo of what it looked like currently running. Same thing with State of Decay 2. That needs like a 10-minute playthrough, showing a presentation for like 10 minutes of that game. We need to get a good idea with this game, and both these games need release dates, and they need to be release dates. Not one of these games can come out in November.
I don't think not one of these games could come out past the middle of October.
Well, I give State of Decay to end of October. That's going to go launch day and date or coincide with like The Walking Dead returning. So I feel like that would be a good marketing strategy because then Microsoft could buy up ad time for AMC to promote that game and whatnot. So
yeah, definitely. I feel like that State of Decay and Crackdown 3, if they come out with a really good presentation, Crackdown, and they really show that they ain't been blowing smoke this whole time with the Crackdown, bet and argument that they've been doing with the fully destructible city with multiplayer and the solid single player experience. I think they need to come out there and do that, from one angle of one person on State of Decay. So he's about to get killed, and then and then the light pops up on the stage, and someone else is playing, and he snipes the zombies about to kill the other dude, showing how co-op works on State of Decay. Because I feel like that's the biggest thing that they need to really highlight in State of Decay 2 is the co-op features and how the game has evolved since the first one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they do need to have a demo, but I think it really depends on how the game looks. If it's still that kind of weird top-down kind of vibe to it, maybe not. But like, if it's a little closer, like a closer third person, then I say yeah, like definitely show it off. But that might be just me though.
What are you talking about?
Like, okay, so State of Decay 1 had this weird camera angle where it was almost top-down. It felt it so far away, and like. I don't know. Like, I couldn't play it because it was just kind of weird to me, and I couldn't get into it. But this one could be if they change it up, so it's more like a little closer, more like The Division or Battlegrounds or something like that. Then I could get into it, where you feel a little more in touch with your person.
I kind of don't want State of Decay 2 to go that route. I want a good, solid single player and they had a free for all survive. Different days. I can't remember exactly what they called them in State of Decay, but it was like if you did certain achievements, you moved on to the next cycle of this game mode. I don't even remember. I think it was called Breakout. I want that to be 4-player co-op. I want a solid story with 4-player co-op. If they want to do something like that, I want that to be completely optional in the multiplayer. If that makes sense to you, like a PvP multiplayer, I think that would be fun. But with Battlegrounds, DayZ, all the H1Z1, all these games, I don't feel like State of Decay needs to try to compete with those. I feel like they need to be something different.
Mm-hmm.
That's see, all right. So here's the thing. State of Decay, because all right, I understand what Anchorman's talking about, the way the original game looked, being like what, a $15 arcade game or whatnot. So I feel like because Microsoft needs a big game this year. They don't have one so far. This game needs to be. I know what he means by a close up. He wants pretty much like Days Gone, pretty much, but in the State of Decay universe. What I want out of State of Decay, I want a really good looking game. I want a great story, but I do want a great deal of like multiplayer, like a dynamic multiplayer experience, where say we're all for playing, right? And I know this is nothing new, but we need to I guess get supplies, right, to make our base stronger, but all 4 of us don't have to go. I can either go by myself, or I could bring a gaming addict along with me, and then Anchorman and somebody else could like do something else, and then we just meet back at the base once we have it. I want to see some shit like that, where it's like, this is going to be because it's supposed to be an open world game. It's supposed to be 4-player co-op, and I want to see like some of this stuff like unfold, and they have to be able to display that to me in a presentation at E3. And like I said, State of Decay has to be that big game. Crackdown has to be it. Forza has to do what it has to do. But what else is there? Unless they have like a big mega surprise that's due this year that they're going to spend the next 6 months promoting for this holiday season, these two have to be like the mainstays.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you. Out of both of these titles, which one do you think is the most important to come out and perform beyond everyone's expectations?
State of Decay 2.
I kind of think it's Crackdown 3.
I agree. I think it's actually Crackdown.
I love State of Decay.
The expectations are too low for Crackdown.
I mean, it's Crackdown. Don't get me wrong. I love the other Crackdowns. But the idea of having a fully destructible city is really interesting. And if this game comes out and does exactly what they meant it to do, it could typically and potentially change that entire genre of what Crackdown is in. Because how is its competition going to compete with fully destructible cities? It's not an easy thing to compete with.
Yeah, it's not.
So it's definitely interesting. So we're going to go ahead and, move on to so there's a lot of insiders that claims that Microsoft has a huge third-party marketing deal. Do you think this is just plain out a marketing deal, or you think there's some kind of exclusivity to timed exclusives, to just plain out exclusives? And if so, what do you think it could potentially be?
All right, you talking about that whole Shinobi thing, right?
Yeah, the whole Shinobi thing.
He said marketing on a. Honestly, Jez responded to it and said it's called Assassin's Creed. Jez thinks it's Assassin's Creed, and that Microsoft's going to have marketing on that. I think it's the Splinter Cell. I think it's an Ubisoft game. It's a game. It's unannounced. It's a major title.
It is not Elder Scrolls, Jansen. Let's get out of here with that.
Yeah, it's good. I think it's Ubisoft. I think it's an Ubisoft game, and I think that Ubisoft game is Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell, and I think it's a time exclusive. I think the Division is like 4 years out.
It's the Division 2. Let's be real here. What do you think, Anchorman? Do you think that there's some true to this rumor going around, or do you think people are just blowing it out of proportion?
I mean, duh. I mean, it's going to happen. That's just an inevitability, guys. I don't know why people think they're not going to get this big marketing deal, but I think I definitely agree it is Ubisoft for sure. But I feel like they might get both. Honestly,
I feel like it's been confirmed that they have Assassin's Creed, hasn't it?
It has not been confirmed from what I've seen. but it is pretty much like anticipated to happen. Like it's probably going to happen, but I know like it's just not. I feel like there's going to be more to it though. I don't know. It's hard to explain.
What do you mean?
I feel like it's going to be more than just Assassin's Creed being an Xbox marketing deal. Like, I feel like it's more than that.
I feel like the way that people are making it out to be, like, I don't follow Shinobi a whole lot, but he's a pretty decent insider, isn't he?
Yeah, Shinobi's pretty decent. Like he's pretty on point. He's normally right.
I feel like he's blowing. I feel like he's hyping this up a little bit too much just to be a marketing deal. Because, I mean, he seemed pretty ecstatic in that tweet. I know you can't really visualize what people look like when they tweet, but, he seemed pretty, like, ecstatic that...
Well, it's a new game. Like, it's clearly a game we haven't talked about. So, I don't... Like I said, I don't think it's just Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, I would probably agree with you. Well, I don't really know what it could be if it's not just Assassin's Creed. I mean, do you think Splinter Cell and Assassin's Creed both would be it? I think Splinter Cell is still a very well-known franchise.
I think they both will have marketing deals, but I think
That's
Splinter Cell is going to be an exclusive though, like for at least timed.
That'd be interesting. Do you think that would mean anything, Anchorman?
I mean, they've been teasing it. So, like, again, I'm not entirely surprised, but they have been teasing this, like that something is coming. Like, what was it? They posted this thing the other day about we had this banner up in the Xbox headquarters of Splinter Cell and the multiplayer and that long partnership we've always had. It was like, okay.
Yeah, definitely. So, that's pretty much all we could really talk about that. That's one of those things where it can literally be someone just sticking his hand in a hat and pulling out a random name because we would never be able to guess this. So this is a big topic that everyone's been talking about. Not a whole lot of everyone. I've been seeing, YouTube videos, articles. It's about 343. Okay, not too long ago they came out and said that Halo 6 will not be. I think they said not a Halo main story arc. I don't think they said it wouldn't be Halo at all. So they said that it was. So obviously, after Halo 6 has been not at E3, people automatically assume it's Halo Anniversary 3. Then they debunked that one too.
Debunked that one.
So, and then they did confirm that they will be there. Now, I don't know if they meant that they'll be showing something or they'll be present at the conference. So, if they are showing something, what else could it be if it's not Halo 6 or if it's not Halo Anniversary 3? Do you think it might be Halo Wars 2 DLC?
No, that's not E3 worthy, dude.
Or do you think it might be Halo 5 coming to PC? Which I feel like if it was Halo 5 coming to PC, it would be at the PC conference where they announced the Gears of War one. But what do you guys think?
I think they're showing off a new IP.
I don't think it's a new IP. I mean, I think it's a new IP, but I think it's got to be
either a new
Halo
IP or are they just going to announce that Halo's 4K 60 on Scorpio. That's the only thing it could be.
That is a good possibility. They could show what Halo 5 looks like on the Scorpio.
Yeah, that's probably likely. But I feel like they'll do that, and they'll probably say, "Yeah, it's Play Anywhere now." Officially,
freaking stupid.
Oh, by the way, Phantom Dust just launched.
Yeah, I was going to tell people that here in a couple minutes. So look, you just tell people that they leave my stream, go play Phantom Dust. Fuck you, Anchorman.
Leave the show, go play Phantom Dust.
All right. So, that's not a whole lot to talk about that. So, here it is. The big thing that Microsoft's really been going off for Project Scorpio. It's clearly the highlight of the show. I think we can all agree from the time we knew it was going to get announced last year that this was going to be what was talked about at E3 2017. So what do we want to know? We want to know the name, price, and release date. So we're going to go through the panel and ask what you guys think these three individual variables are going to be. Kid, what do you think it's coming out? What's its name? And how much is it going to be?
Project Scorpio, what I think it's coming out. I think. Hold on, I gotta pull up a calendar right quick because I'm
Hold
better when it's
up. People in the chat, put when you think it's coming out, what's its name, and how much it is. Why
Yeah.
kid takes 50 minutes figuring out what
Yeah,
he's
no,
thinking.
I got it. All right, so Destiny 2 comes out September 9th, and Shadow of War comes out
August.
August 22nd. If Xbox is smart, they have to release it. They can't let no more games come out after that. They can't. Scorpio cannot be the last thing available to buy. It has to be out before or right when these games come out, not after. I want to say it doesn't come out September 9th. I say it comes out
September 3rd. I'm saying it right now. September 3rd.
Here's the thing. I got 2 dates. The reason why I got 2 dates is because I hope they're not going. I know it's called the code name is Scorpio, and hopefully, if they're not following the whole Zodiac month shit, Scorpio should come out on September 26th. If they're not following the Scorpio, but if they are following this stupid Zodiac month.
Do you really think Microsoft, a multi-billion-dollar corporation, is naming their shit after Zodiac sign?
But the thing is, that's the thing. It should come out September 26th. Otherwise, my belief is that it's coming out October 24th.
October 24th. Okay.
October 24th. Xbox One X $399. Xbox One S $199.
All right. Good. Hey, Grab, what do you think?
I don't know about 199, but
I think that would be the biggest drop the mic moment they could make, is if the Xbox One S got a 199 price tag.
Isn't it still 399 technically?
It's it's
299. Sorry,
yeah. Maybe $50 would be more plausible if they did drop it.
I think 250. I think they'll drop it 250 as an official price drop. And like there'll be deals over the holiday as well, but I think it really, honestly, the thing that squashes it all in August and all that kind of crap talk is what holiday is in August?
That's true.
They say holiday 2017, and everybody knows holiday doesn't start till October. That season doesn't start till October. And I think October 24th is probably the date. Like I think that would be the smartest move. You get it out there. You get out there before the Star Wars hype goes out. You start working on it.
I think it wouldn't surprise me if they did some shit like that. It wouldn't. It would not surprise me if they launched it, late October, early November. But I think that would be a mistake. If you're going out there and you're saying that your console it will play all the third parties the best, what are you going to possibly promote it on third party wise afterwards? You don't have the marquee does to any of these games. First off, so you have to go simply by mouth to mouth from your hardcore gamers saying, "Yo, it looks amazing." And what comes out after October and early November? Call of Duty and I think Battlefront. That's all that's been announced right now. We don't know when. If Splinter Cell, Assassin's Creed probably is a November title or late October. So, it wouldn't surprise me both, but I have to say it's coming out between August 23rd, September 8th, between that date. That's just me. I feel like that last year the S did really good, and it was really successful when they launched it post holiday season, because it'll make more sense to have a more of more time between the game the console comes out and holiday season 2 to make sure you can fix stuff that's wrong. If you have some kind of supply issue, you can fix the supply issue. That way you're not caught with your hand in the cookie jar in the holiday season and something serious is wrong, but you have no time to react to it. But I don't blame you guys for thinking it's a late October, early November. But I think that, they looked at, they won the last 5 months of last year besides November. They looked at these statistics, and I don't think that they're going to, I think they're going to try to repeat that. My honest opinion. What do you guys think? Do you think there's no way it comes out that early, or do you think that it's probable 100% it comes out later of the year?
Wait. What's your date?
I said between Shadow of War and Destiny 2.
Yeah, that would be ideal. I just don't see it happening. Like that's why I was like the earliest they could potentially put that out is that towards the end of September, that September 26th date, because you're still in the same month of Destiny, and you're not too far from Shadow of War, and you're there before those big the holiday gang rush come through. But I think the problem that has it, Phil Spencer has a fully functional running Scorpio right now. That's why I was like, why wait? Like, why wait? But I say I'm more inclined to believe October 23rd. I mean October 24th.
Here's some of what the comment section have to say. Warning Shot says he thinks it's $3.99 middle of October. I think that's a line, what Anchorman thinks. So I'm sure Anchorman is all about some warning shots right now. Liv Dev says that he thinks he heard it's going to be called Xbox One X. I think that wasn't confirmed. It was just rumored, right? That the name.
Yeah.
He thinks it's going to be $3.99 too. There's a lot of $3.99 people. There's a lot of Channel 5 fam in the section. Kabatsu. He thinks it's $3.99 late September. That was yours, not Anchorman. Kid Smooth, right? You said late September.
Yeah, I said late September if they're not going by this Zodiac month. Like,
I don't think they do it by Zodiacs, man. If they do it, I'm gonna like walk out of the stage right then and there, be like, "Oh my god!" and just walk out. Okay,
man,
what?
I think you're crazy, man. Like, the only thing we do know for sure is that it is going to be tiered. We know that the Scorpio is going to be tiered in terms of like
if it's tiered. It's the same thing they did with the S.
They dropped
the first tier at the beginning of the holiday, before the holiday season, and they dropped the cheaper tier in the holiday season.
Well, yeah, it's different though because there wasn't a competing franchise now. Well, not franchise, a competing product. Now they got to worry about the Xbox One S, and so they say, okay, we'll drop this earlier. Like, well, not earlier, but they'll drop it around the holiday season because they want people to buy the Scorpio. If they drop it at $3.99, they're going to want it to drop. They're going to want people to buy that over the S as much as they can, so they'll drop it during the holiday.
I agree with you. I mean, even Phil Spencer's came out and said the S is going to be their number one selling product. He knows this. He's not being delusional. He knows that the Scorpio is not going to outsell the S. So at least Microsoft, to us right now, they have a semi, understanding of what the market is going to buy. But anyway, LivDev did. He said that it's coming out. I believe he said October. He said Joe said October 12th. I think that's a little bit before Anchorman. So Anchorman, if he's right and it's in that line of sight, you take that L. Destiny bundle for the PS4. It definitely will have a Destiny 2 bundle. But do we think that do you think Sony's just going to give a game away for free? Do you think they're going to make you pay for it in the bundle? Because that matters.
What, Sony?
Yeah. Do you think they're going to give a Destiny 2 bundle with the game?
Oh, probably.
I don't think they've really done that besides Uncharted 4. I don't think they did with any other. Did they do?
It's about time now. It's about time. They'll do a Call of Duty bundle and they'll do a Destiny bundle. So
yeah,
and probably a Star Wars bundle.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that State of Decay 2 will be beefed up for Scorpio. But I'm just, the first one, you don't really have anything to compete it with because State of Decay was an arcade game. So you can't really compete it with modern games because at the time it wasn't a modern looking game.
Yeah.
So BCK said it has to come out before Shadow of War and Destiny 2. I don't think it does.
Hell
if
no.
it does come out that early, it will come out with Shadow of War. I don't think, and Destiny 2, they don't have the marketing rights for. So, I do think they want this console out before these big third parties start dropping. Maybe they don't see Destiny 2 as a big deal. Maybe they will try to push it more into the holiday season. Kabashi said late September because it's early enough that they can do discounts on Black Friday. They doing discounts regardless.
Yeah, and not just Microsoft, but like Walmart and everybody else, they'll take a loss on some of the items. Like it's not even
because
just Microsoft.
the thing is, you want someone to come up there for that discounted Scorpio, but they're not just going to buy that Scorpio. They're going to buy games. They get sales on that. That's why they discount these items, is because they want you in the store buying more shit than just what's on discount.
Yeah.
Gamers pick up the games they want quick. Yeah, I agree with that. They wouldn't need to buy it twice. The game they have will be upgraded by Scorpio. Yeah, a lot of people are retarded when it comes to that. They say what Scorpio has any games. They act like Scorpio is a new releasing console. Have you ever noticed that, you guys? They act like Scorpio is a new releasing console and it's going to have no games when it comes out exclusive-wise.
No. I think that they'll make sure something comes out for it. At least 2 or 3 games.
I think a first party is going to drop on Scorpio. Maybe Crackdown. So I appreciate you guys coming on. We're going to go ahead and, end this up. Definitely Anchorman and Smoove definitely been, my left and right hand man since YouTube started. Anchorman unfortunately doesn't have a YouTube channel anymore. He does stuff exclusively for the Tick Network. But we're gonna do these outros. Smoove, where can these people find you at, or try to find you at? Okay, Smoove's definitely not here in the house. So Anchorman, where can these people find you at? You guys are kidding me, right? Are you guys really missing?
No, yeah, you guys can find me on the Inner Circle Network. I'm on there. You can find me on Twitter, Xbox, PlayStation, YouTube, whatever, at the Anchorman V2. All the same thing, all across the board. Easy to find. Got that synergy. I know who I am.
Oh my god. Definitely catch Anchorman's top shelf things. He likes to piss people off in there with his DC related messages. So his comic book. I was gonna say something really fucked up, but I won't say it. But Anchorman's a huge Marvel fan. Definitely catch his multiverse every Monday. He gets kind of mad when the IOP does their shit on Mondays. He says that we copying them when we try to do ours before the multiverse. The multiverse is normally like an hour and a half to 2 if we do it on Mondays. It's not like we're doing it on when you do your shit, Anchorman. So stop with your nonsense. Smoove, where can they find you at? We'll try this take 2.
You can find me on my channel, Smoove, YouTube, weaponwheelnetwork.com, or Weapon Wheel Podcast every Sunday.
Yeah, definitely catch the Weapon Wheel. Definitely catch him playing Bloodborne. He's gonna be playing that. I've been really on him. He's got a Patreon. He has to play it, but I want him to finish that game. See, I think everyone wants Smoove to finish Bloodborne. But I appreciate you guys coming on here. Definitely helpful. Had a really good conversation about the E3, predictions. I hope that the majority of the shit we talked about, is how it goes, and I hope they don't go up there and talk about VR, Project Scorpio, in like 2 games. That'd be the worst case scenario. But we're definitely out of here. Appreciate you guys coming by. Definitely follow, subscribe to my channel. I try to do these as often as possible. Go in the description and subscribe to the Iron Lords podcast. It's my podcast I do every Sunday at 1 p.m. Thank you guys for watching. We're out of here.